So it's a pretty good time to be Will, or if you like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Lucasfilm, and gaming, a great time for you too. There is a whole heap of news that I can't wait to get into your faces, but just know that once I give you all of this news, you'll never sleep again because of the sheer potential of all these things. Let's talk. First up, it was just a big name change slash rebrand of a company, which usually wouldn't be exciting, but this time kinda was. Lucasfilm Games is the new umbrella identity for all games coming out of the Lucasfilm IP and brand. So you're talking Star Wars, Indiana Jones, I guess Willow if that ever gets a video game, which, considering the news, it is possible. Lucasfilm Games is an okay name, but you know, LucasArts kind of rolls off the tongue, and you've already got a bunch of pre-established branding that you could have just brought over. I'm not saying that you needed to do that. I'm keen for the future of Lucasfilm Games. I'm just saying LucasArts sounds better. There was also a sizzle reel of a bunch of games that are now under the Lucasfilm Games umbrella, as well as LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. The game's not out yet, we don't have a proper release date yet, I just want that game. There was also some words from Lucasfilm Games Vice President Douglas Riley, saying we're looking to work with best-in-class teams that can make great games across all of our IP. This was promised as a new era in Lucasfilm Games, and, you know, at this point, we didn't know what that really meant. If we just waited an extra day, we would. The following day, we found out there is a new Indiana Jones game coming from Bethesda. It'll be developed by Machine Games, who, like Indiana Jones, have been killing Nazis since 2014 in all of their Wolfenstein games. It feels like they chose Machine Games purely for that fact. I will say, Indiana Jones doesn't kill Nazis in the same way Billy does. So, if we could just tone that down a bit, I don't really want to be just blitzing Nazis like Madman. I'll whip them. Whip those Nazis. It'll also have executive producer Todd Howard on board. This man loves to wear a leather jacket. It also has been shown that he has a bunch of artifacts that Indiana Jones once stole. So this man can steal from Indiana Jones. So I feel like, you know, he's the right man for the job. Obviously, there is a bit of a worry about Todd Howard as he has made some missteps in the Fallout games, but look, he still helped to produce some of the biggest games of all times. All of us have a little turd in the closet. What does that mean? The game is set to tell a wholly original standalone tale set at the height of the career of the famed adventurer. So yeah, I'm keen to see what this is. If you're keen to see what this is, hit that subscribe button because I'm gonna make a video about all the things I want to see in this game, based on no facts. And this is kind of where I thought that the news video would end, but there's more news. Last night, we got the news that Ubisoft will be making a Star Wars open world video game, which is a set of words I never thought I would be saying. This is exciting to me. As someone who obviously loved the Assassin's Creeds, I've kind of drained off them a little bit, but Watch Dogs Legion has brought me back into that open world Ubi environment. The idea of a Star Wars game, you know, it could be good, could be bad, I don't know yet. It will be developed by Ubisoft Massive, which is the team behind The Division, which is, you know, a Ubisoft open world game, specifically gun shooty bang game, because there are obviously other games that don't have that. So maybe we're going down a bounty hunter path? Again, we don't know. Julian Geraghty will be serving as creative director. This fellow worked on The Crew and The Division as well, which are, again, two great Ubisoft games. There's a lot of fun to be had in The Crew, lots of different vehicles, lots of bit of fun stuff going on there, so hopefully they kind of translate the fun vibe over, but then on the other side, people might want like a hardcore shooty bang Division-like game set in the Star Wars world. There's a lot of potential here. We do know that the game will be built in the Snowdrop engine, which was used for The Division 2, which is a very beautiful looking game. It's fun to play in, so that's good news. And that it will also be a story-driven open world experience. Unlike the Indiana Jones game, we don't have a placement in the Star Wars saga for this game. It could fit within the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, probably not the sequel trilogy. That seems to be a very trepidatious area, maybe in the Mandalorian area, but my personal thinking is it might fit in the High Republic era, which is one of Disney's two new babies. You got the Mandalorian era, and you got the High Republic era. There is almost limitless potential in the High Republic era. We know very little about it. Obviously, there's a lot of books and comics and thoughts, but I can almost see this as being the new KOTOR, the new Knights of the Old Republic, the new Old Republic kind of game. It has got the word Republic in it. it might be that. But speaking of people that know about KOTOR and Old Republics, EA could not stay silent. EA had a near decade-long exclusivity deal with LucasFilm, making your Jedi Fallen Orders, your Battlefronts, your Squadrons, but this branch out to Bethesda's and Ubisoft's could spell the end of this brand deal. It did. It is over. Soon. The brand deal was originally scheduled to last into 2022-2023, but it is possible that it's been smudged around to be able to allow for the Bethesdas and the Ubisofts to play. Disney is a powerhouse. They can do things against the law. They shouldn't, but it is possible. EA did issue a statement on the matter, however, because they just had to, It's really hard to say those words. EA stated they are proud of their long-standing collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, which will continue for years to come. Our talented teams have created some of the most successful games in the history of the Star Wars franchise, including Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and Star Wars Squadrons. That is a set of games that they made. Don't know about Galaxy of Heroes. I feel like that's successful for a very gross and microtransaction heavy reason, but you know what? Still successful. So yes, Jedi Fallen Order is still on the cards, and I'm sure there will be Squadrons DLC in the near future, because that game has been way more successful than they clearly planned. There's already Mandalorian bits and pieces thrown into the game, 2 new fighters. I mean, you definitely said that you weren't doing anything extra for this game. So the ending of the exclusivity deal does not spell the end of EA Star Wars. I'm sure there will be a Battlefront 3 at some point as well. It's very proven that the Frostbite engine works really well for those games, so I don't think Disney will be cutting ties from the EAs. But hey, this now means we could get a new Masters of the Terras Kasi game from NetherRealm Studios.
I'm ready.
Maybe a Star Wars Just Dance game with a redux of I'm Han Solo. Or we could get a Super Bombad Racing 2 from Nintendo. They've made enough Mario Karts now, they could just do a Star War. What do you want to see out of this brand new world of the Lucasfilm Games universe? Let me know down in the comments, and I will let you know what I want to see in the Star Wars Ubisoft game and the Indiana Jones Bethesda game. There's some videos about that coming up shortly, so make sure you subscribe. I can never hold it. I can never just be professional for the duration of an entire video. But that is why you should subscribe.
I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in